Hello, hi everybody, and welcome to this tutorial and introduction how to create a patch with Pure Acid from Gmodio. So, first of all, I would like to say that this is quite an amazing application. At the moment, I'm using it in a standalone mode, but you can also use it as a AUV3 inside one of your preferred hosts like AUM, Cubase, etc. Um, so let's try creating a patch. So let's click where it says default Grove and let's select as a patch the init patch. And we click outside, and if we click play, you practically have a bass line and also some bass drum. So let's start focusing on the sequencer for the bass. At the top on the left hand side of the init patch, you can see some yellow boxes highlighted, so you can select to have the bass or not, the sequencer or not, the mixer, and also the drum modules. So for now, let's keep activating the bass, the sequencer, and the drums. So let's move to the middle section, and let's click on the edit button. So now we are in edit mode for the sequencer, and we can move to each step we want, highlighting and just touching or clicking with your mouse, or you can use on here on the right hand side where it says plus step or minus step. When you are in the steps you like, we can act on it with the controls on the right hand side of the sequencer. So for example, let's decrease the octave of that step. Let's go to the next step, and in there let's create rest, so we'll remove the note. Let's go to the next step, next step, next step. In there let's change the pitch. Let's go higher, and let's give it a slide. So let's try it now. Let's click play on the top left hand side. Okay, let's stop again, click on the play button, and let's do more or less the same thing on the second part, and this on the third and the fourth bit. Let's do something like that. Yeah, let's increase again the pitch. Actually, no, let's lower the pitch, and let's put an accent instead, and let's see what it sounds like. Okay, I like it like that for now. Let's click again on the edit button so that we can move away from the edit mode. Now let's move to the bottom part of the screen. Here we have our drums. So let's click on the step edit. Now you can see at the bottom it shows you that you have selected the bass drum, and you have at the top button that you can move to the next sample or the previous one for the drum. And for that bass drum, it shows you that we have a step to play it on step number 1, 5, 9, and 13. So let's introduce some snare drum, and let's say to play that on step number 5 and on step number 13, and let's play. Okay, now let's move to hi-hat, and let's say that it will play around there and there. Let's try. Okay, now let's go back to the bass drum. Let's increase the boost. Okay, that sounds really good. Now, what I like to do is now come out from that pattern, from that step edit or the drum section. Now let's click on the mixer. Here you can see we have some effects that you can apply. So let's click on the whole reverb, and let's send that to, if you click where it says MFX with the right arrow, let's send that to the output, which is fine. And let's play with it a little bit and change the parameter and see what it sounds like. And let's increase the FXB for the bass. So in this case, the whole verb or reverb is going through the FXB, is going directly to the output instead of the MFX section, and then we increased that effect on the bass line. Okay, so this is an example of how you can add some simple effects. Now let's go back to the sequencer. Now what we are going to do now is click on the pattern, and we're going to select pattern number 1, click paste, select pattern number 2, and click paste in there. So we copied the first pattern, so we clicked on copy, and then we clicked on paste on the second one. Now on the second one, let's change the semitone, let's change the key down. So we transpose it down, and now let's go back to the first sample. Let's click and hold, and then move it to right until it says 2, so you will play the 2 patterns. So let's click play. As you can see, he has played the first pattern and he also played the second pattern, which is actually quite good. Now let's go back to the drum section and let's click on pattern. Okay, we have the first pattern there on number 1. Let's click copy. That becomes highlighted. Let's go to the second one and let's click again copy for pasting it. Now on the second one, let's select let's go on step edit and let's select this snare drum, and then change a little bit the rhythm. So let's come out of step edit, let's go to pattern again, let's play it. Okay, let's go back to pattern again. Let's go to pattern number 1 and do the same thing. Move it, click and hold and move it to the right, so you will play the 2 patterns. So let's try. Great. Now let's say that we like that. We go on the top right side of the menu, we just click on utility and we just say render that for me, please. Let's give it the name test, and let's click OK. And you find that it is incredibly quick. Let's save that in the export folder, and then let's go inside the export folder of Pure Acid. Here it is, export. Let's click on the test waveform and let's click play. Fantastic. So let's go back to Pure Acid and let's click on the init patch, and then let's say save as. And then we say, okay, let's call it test number 2 because I already created another one. Here we go. We have a test number 2 in the user bank. I created a previous one in a similar way called test. So I hope you enjoyed. This is just a quick introduction on how to use Pure Acid. There's much more to see and to use. Please play around it. It's a fantastic application. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.